We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to your live boxing ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to your live. In the words of Jay-Z, Hove, it's perfect. When the grass is cut, the snakes are show. But I gotta thank the little homie Naz for that though, saving me the hassle of speaking to half these. Devin Haney says he has made some cuts. He's made some adjustments to his entourage because after the Ryan Garcia fight, it really exposed who was on his side, and he had to cut the grass low so he could see the snakes. When the grass is cut, the snakes is show. But I gotta thank the little homie Naz for that though. Yup. Subscribe to the channel. Oh my gosh. I guess in this video, I'm gonna show you first because unlike other content creators, I don't just talk about it, I be about it. I show you so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's no confusion, right? Because I don't like you guys to be confused. Boxing is a corrupt sport, dirty sport, and there's enough confusion. So, Exhibit A. I made this graphic. Devin Haney cuts his entourage down after the Ryan Garcia fight. Quote, cut the grass low so I could see the snakes. Now, Devin posts this on social media. Andre SOG Ward, you guys know, I know SOG, one of my favorite fighters. I definitely respect him. And for real, he put the bay on in the right way. Shout out to SOG. He's now in the podcasting business, and he was talking to Clarissa Shields. This quote came from that conversation. I lost most of my family because of success. And I'm going to give you guys the cliff notes. What SOG was saying is roughly when he was younger and he was drinking, smoking, coming to the spot high or whatever, you know, just Bay Area stuff. You feel me? Yara. At those points, he had family member or friends or whoever, they were encouraging that behavior from him. Andre Ward, he became a man of God, got deep into his faith. Him and his wife, who he's been with, you know, high school sweethearts, I believe, they took a different path. And that path was obviously a legendary career, gold medal, yada, 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 family man. And he's basically saying it was at that point when he became successful that people were like, oh man, you don't come around no more, you too good. We've heard this before. So I thought that was great from SOG. And he says success comes at a cost. In comes Devin Haney, and I'll read what he said. I'll enlarge it for you guys. Pause. Devin says, I felt this deeply. When I started when I started setting boundaries, mother effers said I changed. I used to be 15 to 20 people deep everywhere I went. Now it's 3 or 4 of us, or 3/4 of us, or whatever, 3-4 of us at the same time. Had to cut the grass low so I could see the snakes. End quote. Oh, man. Now, ego thoughts. What do I think? I mean, as far as Devin shortening up his entourage, that's really his business. It's on him. I don't know behind the scenes what went on. I don't know who got cut. We know it's not your daddy who creates a lot of problems for you, Bill Haney. But for whatever reason, it sounds like he's made alterations. If it works for you, it works for me. It's your life, your career. For starters, I find a couple problems with that. One, the man said when, like basically months ago or years ago or whatever, he would roll 15 to 20 deep. Why do you need that, bro? So there's a movie with Wesley Snipes called Passenger 57. I actually just recently watched it for the holidays. Ever play roulette? On occasion. Well, here's a little word of advice. Always bet on black. Some of you have seen it. John Cutter, right? Great film, great 90s action. There's a scene in that movie, spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen it, I'm going to spoil the part, where his wife gets killed at a convenience store somebody's robbing. And Wesley Snipes he's a cop or whatever, so he tries to stop the guy. And then he takes Wesley's wife, Lisa, hostage. And then, he puts the gun to her head. And he's like, man, I'll blow this brains out, blah, blah, blah. And then Wesley assesses the situation. He tries to stand down and put his gun down. And he said, all right, I'm not gonna try to stop you. The guy said, you shouldn't have tried to stop me in the first place. And bow. And then he kills the wife. Right? Great film. I know some people are like, what are you talking about? Why are you bringing up a 90s movie, Passion 57? The man said, you shouldn't have tried to stop me in the first place. I like that quote, even though it's from a movie. I like the quote because I try to live my life by that, where it's like, I want to I'm not perfect, of course, but I want to make the right decisions the first time. So we don't even get to a point where I got to make all these changes. Am I perfect? No. Will I still make mistakes? Absolutely. But I like to do things the right way to begin with to minimize the chance of things happening later. That's why I don't believe in shortcuts. A lot of content creators, they're short-sighted. They're worried about clicks right now. I'm worried about clicks to come long term. A lot of people, they're doing what they do now, clickbaiting, leaving disgruntled fans, trying to rush and I've seen it time and time again. People here today, gone tomorrow, right? So in regards to Devin Haney, why were you ever rolling around with 20 people? Like, how is that? Like, bodyguards, security, cool, that's cool. But why were you 20 deep? Like, who are you? Princess Di. Like, how many people in this earth, because you have to understand, he has been rolling deep because we've seen it, in videos and stuff. There's this big entourage. Like when he had to run in with Teofimo, there's a lot of people. So it's like, why do you need that in Fresno? If you're really from the Bay, Fresno's not that far away. Why do you need a big entourage to go to Fresno? Teofimo, I have exclusive video stuff from that. Teofimo, I don't know how many people exactly he had, but I really just seen him and his dad, and he's the New Yorker. Who's like really trying to create issues with the boxer, especially at that point in Devin's career, because this is way before the Loma fight. This is way before the Ryan fight. So I didn't really see at that point people even heckling Devin Haney. So it's cool if he made the changes now, but I don't feel like that should have ever been the case. That's one thing. Two, we have Devin Haney, who, in my opinion, since this fight with Ryan Garcia, him and his dad, the Haneys and the Haneyacks have been crashing out. And it's real Karen-like behavior to me, where it looks like they're trying to garner sympathy. And the big thing I have with this is I can't tell you what to do with your entourage. You pay them, or they're around for the love, or whatever your arrangement is. Cool. If you felt the need to make adjustments, you did it. Cool. But one, why were you ever rolling 20 deep? What man needs to roll around 20 deep, even though as a celebrity? Now he's like opining on Andre Ward, making it about him. And maybe it just happens to be the era I'm from. And maybe it won't change. I don't know. Because a lot of people have TikTok brains. And I really find it bothersome that this new Gen Z, they talk too much. It's just a lot of talking about almost nothing, to the point where they use social media like a diary. I use social media every day for my business, but I don't tell everybody my business. That's the difference. if you made cuts to your team, why do we need to know that? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I feel like the Haneys continuously make the wrong moves and moves that are weird. Why? That's a serious question. Don't say, oh, you're hating. Answer the question. Why do we need to know about your entourage and how many people you cut from the team? Why did you cut I mean, it just leaves more questions. And either way, it doesn't change most of our lives. So what does that have to do with anything? And you're talking about pretty much blaming others, had to cut the grass low so the snakes could show. Every fighter probably deals with that in turmoil. But the main thing here, which only adds to what I've been saying in my videos, Devin Haney's brand has plummeted. It's on the decline, which I've been saying since the Ryan Garcia fight. Multiple things weighed in to that, but that's where it's at. The Haneyaks told me I was lying. Why are you doing this then? Again, some people may not get it, so I guess I got to spell it out for you. Why do you, if Ryan cheated, which he did, had Ostarine in his system, that is the only reason you lost, according to the Haneyaks and pretty much Team Haney. So my question to you guys is, why do you need to adjust your team if y'all did everything perfect and the only reason you lost is because Ryan's a cheater and he had Ostarine in his system? So some things are just better left unsaid. Quietly, if you made cuts on your team and you felt good with them or felt they were needed, cool. But again, this new generation, they have this need to tell everybody everything all the time. And I just don't believe in that. Sometimes you should have an air of mystery to yourself. Devin Haney and Bill Haney, they just keep getting to social media. And I don't even want to tell you, because it's a waste of my time, what people are showing and saying in the comment sections. Pictures of Diddy, they're saying you're blaming everyone but yourself. You go to it and you guys do the work for once and read what people are saying in the comment section. And that's what this new generation of boxer, it's like they really don't get. They're too vocal, telling their every waking move and what they did. And for me, I feel like the Haneys are doing it to garner sympathy. Like Devin signed up for year-round drug testing. Yeah. Like you want a cookie. Like, okay, cool, you did that. But I feel like everything has to be broadcasted. They're trying to resurrect Devin to the space of before the Ryan Garcia fight, but they're failed attempts. The more you keep pushing, the more people will do the opposite and pull. And then when you pull, people are going to push. And it's like they haven't figured out, in my opinion, the internet and how this works. So I said what I said. I continue to say what I said. I feel like the Haneys are constantly pandering for sympathy and over speaking. Just speaking. The only thing that's going to really, truly help Devin's career, in my honest opinion, is to get back in the ring with credible foes and look better than you did with Ryan Garcia. That's my hand over heart, honest opinion. All this extra jazz and Young Thug tapes and responding, oh, why y'all mad because the Young Thug tape? She with me. Like, why? Who cares? It's the internet. You know what I'm saying? But deeper than that, it shows me that the Haneys are too impacted and they're feeling the damage from the Ryan Garcia fight, which I predicted before the fight even happened, because they're far too just out there. Every little thing, it seems like they have to comment on. Andre Ward talking to Clarissa Shields, and then here you go, jumping in the mix. Oh, I felt this so deeply. I used to roll 15, 20 deep. Now it's 3 or 4 of us. That should have been the case the whole time, you know? And again, for me, this is the Devin that people were respecting. Take some chances, went to Australia, beat Kambosos. And let's be real, Kambosos is not the greatest accomplishment, but at the time you did what you had to do. Lomachenko was not ready to fight because of the war in Ukraine, and you rose to the occasion, beat the man fair and square. Tio didn't beat him, so people gave you credit. All this extra talking and, I had to shave off my entourage. None of this is really helping Devin's brand from what I've seen. And people are growing restless because it's just a bunch of social media. It's like Devin might as well start a podcast. You're suing the man. You're not back in the ring. There's no announcement for the foreseeable future. I haven't heard any rumblings like, oh, Devin Haney and ex-fighter are in deep negotiations. We haven't really heard nothing. And it's just a bunch of chiming in. And me personally, I don't think that's what Devin's career needs right now. I think what you need to do is start making your way back to the ring. Less of the daddy talking for you. You're 26-year-old man, maybe going to be 27. Talk for yourself. Get back to the boxing. Glove up. And just show and prove. Anything else is uncivilized. So that's what I've seen from this whole situation. I feel like it's virtually a waste of time. It's like you're a gluttony for punishment. People are looking at Devin Haney like a whipping boy. People are looking at Devin Haney like a piñata right now in the game. And that's just me being brutally honest. You could go to anybody credible, their page with the big page, like World Star, or whoever has a big page with just random fans. And anytime they post Bill Haney and Devin Haney, it's usually supremely negative. And now you're saying you cut your entourage. Again, the main question of this video is simple. If you did nothing wrong and everything was perfect on your side, you didn't fail a drug test, Ryan did. Your dad's saying, we won 8 rounds. Devin showed heart. Okay, if you're truly not insecure about the fight and you like Ryan got punished, he's suspended, then just rock with that. Why are you cutting people from your entourage? That shows me the mindset of a fragile fighter. There's a bit of frailty with Team Haney. They don't seem like they're moving confident because the old adage, the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're with different trainers. You're working with Freddie Roach one day, Mickey Bay one day. You're with Nate Jones another day. Your weight was up and people called you out on it when they were seeing you. And then you got back down in weight, which is good. You had the Young Thug tape and then your daddy put the cape on trying to fight back the crowd. Now this with your entourage. Again, the Ryan situation, it's looked like it's consuming the Haneys night and day. Because everything seemed, Ryan, sign up for VADA 48 hours, making up fake deadlines, lawsuits, cutting people on your team. Again, why any of this when you've done nothing wrong? You didn't fail a test. Nobody's blaming you for failing a test, but you keep making all these moves. We're doing year-round testing. Okay, what does that prove to a person that never popped dirty? Why didn't you do it before? It's like, what are we talking about? Why did you sever ties with people on your team if Ryan's just a big fat cheater? It wasn't about dodging the left hook. It wasn't about this and that. It was only about Ryan and his unprofessionalism and Ryan missing weight. Like, Ryan testing positive for Ostarine is its own issue, which is being dealt with the way the commission seen fit. Haneyacks keep talking about Ryan missed weight. He was overweight and saying this stuff. But Ryan missing weight by 3.5 pounds. Ryan tested positive for Ostarine. How did that affect your entourage? Why did you slice people from your entourage? What does that have? Where's the connection to Ryan there? Oh, that's right. There isn't one. So for me, Devin, and it's not just that. There's other things like turning down fights. Teofimo turning down fights with Liam Paro and Eddie Hearn, turning down fights with Sandor Martin, becoming a champion at recess, letting him fight on Tank's undercard for the WBC belt. It's just weird move after weird move after weird move from Team Haney. And for me, this is no different. And it really contradicts everything the Haneys have been telling you. We did nothing wrong, basically. Ryan's just a cheater, but we're making these changes. And why, like, for example, if your stock didn't drop, which is what the Haney said, why do you have snakes in your grass? Like, usually snakes won't reveal themselves if everything's on the up and up because they're enjoying the ride. So this just proves that Boxing Ego, everything I've said was the truth. And the Haneyacks, everything they said has been a lie, because I've been telling you, Devin's in between a rock and a hard place. The Haneyacks said, oh no, this is just people hating on Devin Haney and detractors and naysayers, and this is just all blasphemy. Why would you side with the cheater? No matter what you guys say, the end result is the same. The Haney stock took a major hit, and I think these are the ripple effects of that. Why are you cutting your team by that margin? You just said yourself, this is not Boxing Ego saying it. You said you roll 15 to 20 deep and now it's 3 or 4 of you. Why would you? That's like, oh my gosh, I am too on point. The best in the business, and it's not even close. For example, let's take a business. If a business reduces its workforce by 40%, that's almost half of the staff. So there has to be a reason. We're overspending. We lost too much money in the fiscal year, or we have too much shrink and stolen merchandise, or whatever the case is. There has to be a reason why Starbucks laid off 40% of their staff, or Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever these places are. There has to be a reason you did that. And usually those things, like if business is booming and you can't staff enough employees to accommodate the customers and the demand, you're going to hire more. That's how business works. Business 101. That's how it works. You don't start making cuts. You don't do liquidations and clearance sales and fire sales when things are uncontrollably successful and hot. You don't really sue people for battery and unjust enrichment unless what Boxing Ego's been saying is true. And like we all know, since the fight with Ryan Garcia, the Haney's brand has been tanked. And it's funny because Bill Haney constantly talks about, oh, these content creators, oh, YouTubers, and trying to buy new YouTubers to be on his side and push his narratives and stuff like that. None of that will work, bro. The only thing that'll work is reclaiming your throne. It's like a movie, like Black Panther, any baseline movie of a king. The king, okay, Killmonger, he has this different vision. T'Challa got to fight him again. Is this your king? You got to run the fade again. It's that simple. You could look at the crux and the conflict of any king type of movie. There's a conflict, and then Braveheart, or tell them that Scotland is free. You know, they got to do certain things and fight the resistance. The king, T'Challa, got to prove his worth and get Killmonger out of here and have an epic final fight scene. The Haneyacks and the Haneys aren't doing that. They're talking, in my opinion. There are lawsuits and talking and making changes but saying nothing is wrong. That's what's not making sense to me. Why make changes with your entourage if there was nothing wrong to begin with, which is what you also were saying, the Haneyacks and Team Haney. Ryan's a cheater, big fat cheater, 48-hour deadline and all this goofy stuff. Okay, so you don't need to make any changes then. You did everything right. Ryan's just a cheater. That's why 420 looked like 420 and Devin got smoked. So why make any adjustment? Again, old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If I put out a style of video and it goes viral, like let's say Mr. Beast, we don't have to use me. Mr. Beast puts out a video, this type of thumbnail, this type of setup, this type of intro resonates. at that time with the YouTube algorithm. And everything's clicking, and he done made the most money that he done made off of that one video. Guess what? And I can attest to this. I'm not Mr. Beast. I haven't reached Mr. Beast level of success, but I still am a full-time YouTuber. It's been that way. I can attest to this. A content creator is going to see that, and he's going to double down on that. That's how it works. Mr. Beast is going to be like, oh, they messing with this style video? They like that type of thumbnail? Bet. And he's going to get his graphic designers to give him some more of that. Even if the other video is a whole different challenge, a whole different storyline, we're going to do a little bit more of that. So, like I said, in closing, in this beautiful unpack that I've laid out for you guys, if what the Haneys and the Haneyacks have been saying was true, Bill Haney, we got plenty of options, big news coming soon, Ryan's a cheater, that's the only reason, why make any changes? Why do you have to change your staff? Keep the 20-person entourage or whatever Devin said. So that's the danger with using social media as Dear Diary. The most dangerous thing is a camera and a microphone. The more the Haneys talk, the more it's being used against them. So it's probably better to just work on your training, be with your family and new kid or whatever, and get back in the ring, announce something. I think that's the way you truly impact your situation. Nothing else is going to be more potent than Devin just fighting a credible name and looking like he did. You can do all the shirtless pictures showing you're in shape. You can do all the pad work. People aren't buying it, and you can see it in the comment section. You can try to mention Tank David. I know all the tricks. I know all the Haneyacks tricks. Say we want to fight Tank, talk bad about Tank Lamont Roach. You could try all that, but people aren't hearing it. My advice, do you get back in the ring? If as far as the entourage, if you felt the need to cut that down and whittle that down, that's on you. But you don't have to tell us that. You don't have to really explain it. It's a decision you made. If you're happy with it, if it needed to be done, cool. We are worried about the fighting because at the end of the day, that's what this should be about, boxing. Make sure you subscribe. I'm truly the best doing it, best in the business, and it's not even close. We unpacked.